Think of the 5 things, the top 5 things we can do to reduce greenhouse gases. Mentally list them right now. Now, you hear about it all the time in the news, you probably get taught it at school, sometimes you may even talk about it yourselves. Okay? Now, you've got those 5 things in your head, and I want you to examine them and ask how many of them you can do yourself directly by changing your individual behaviour. What's called that IB, individual behaviour. And this is opposed to government regulation or enforcement, we'll call that GR. So you should now have a mental list of 5 things and a number between 0 and 5 representing how many of those things you can influence yourself. You want the answers? Number 1, reduce food waste. This could save 88 gigatons of CO2 equivalent by the year 2100. Do you remember how big a gigaton is? And that was of metal. This is of gas. Anyone get that, by the way? Number 2, plant-rich diets. Eating less meat, 78 gigatons. Now, given that a tiny tick, you can, of course, do that yourself, but, of course, to get it to that scale of 78 gigatons, you need government taxes, subsidies, or other forms to make that big a difference that quick. Anyone have this one? Education. The number 3 most important thing that we can do to reduce carbon. Why would that be? Fewer people, fewer carbon, less carbon consumption. We know that education means fewer babies. More education, fewer babies. Human population is now 7.5 billion. It's due to peak at 2100 at 10 billion. And number 5 is tropical forest regeneration. That's 54 gigatons. Thank you for being so attentive and so polite. But how attentive have you been and how polite have you been?
There's not a number 4.
Yeah, but that's because you already know. Refrigerant management is the 4th most effective thing our species can do to reduce greenhouse gases. Now, you now all know something that I guess your families and friends don't know, and I know that hardly any of the world's most active climate activists know. I know that because I spent 2 weeks at COP26 in Glasgow last year asking them for their top 5s. Not one of them mentioned refrigerant management. Now, I'll be around for lunch. There'll be a prize for anyone who can come up to me and explain what refrigerant management is and why it saves so much carbon. There's a bonus if you can do it in a language other than English, and there's a really huge bonus if you can explain to me why no one appears to have heard of the 4th most effective thing we can do to reduce carbon, and one which relies 100% on government regulation. Thank you.